The dogma of intent. Welcome to Dogma Discussions. This is Vincent. Have you ever experienced the following? You're speaking with someone and receive an odd response, and seeing that reaction, while attempting to clarify your position, realize that he or she has completely misinterpreted your words or actions, and trying sincerely to rectify the conflict, you find that the other person is unwilling to listen? Of course you have. It happens to all of us. Thus, in any interaction, both the intent of the speaker and the impact on the listener must be considered. Wait, what? What does that mean? Well, intent is what you want to convey, and impact is the manner in which it's received. Yet, often, if someone is offended by our interaction, we justify our words and actions by thinking, if he or she is offended, that wasn't my intention. The other person just needs to get over it. Some might suggest that misunderstandings could be avoided if everyone considered the other person's perspective. If only it were that easy. You see, interpersonal communication is so difficult to navigate because impact is based on perception, which influences how the intention is received. Oftentimes, we, in light of our own filters and experiences, naively believe that our intention will be well received, that the other person will understand our point of view, that he or she sees the world the way we do. Yet the other person, in light of his or her own filters and experiences, may receive our intention differently. Our brains employ filters to sort out stimuli we're both receiving and considering. These filters begin to develop from the time we're babies and are created by many factors, including religion, culture, family, school, and other life experiences. Thus, it's difficult to understand another's perspective because there are so many influences over it. Consider this. You've had a great day at work. You feel successful. Your confidence and self-esteem soar like a rocket. Arriving home, you exit your car and, seeing your neighbor, ask how he is. His response? Living the dream. Being on your own emotional high, you think, yeah, good for you. But what if you've just received a negative performance review? Are fearing being laid off at work and your neighbor makes the same comment? In that situation, you might say, somewhat sarcastically, yeah, good for you, while thinking, fuck that guy. Same comment made by the same neighbor, but this time you receive it differently. Why? Because your perception is being affected by your own personal situation in light of your own filters. In short, conversations are not linear. A linear conversation would be like this. One person speaks, the other receives. And then, without any influence from the first person's comments, the other speaks. That's not the way it works, folks, because in any conversation, each person is impacted by the comments of the other. How many of us wait until the other person finishes speaking before our mind shifts to our own response? No. While the other speaks, we mentally react to what's being said, and our response may completely change in reference to the other's comments. Thus, conversations are circular, in which each person is constantly influencing the other, no matter what the intent. In short, the receiver's perception is as much a part of the conversation as the commenter's words. For example, you're out with a racially mixed group of friends and you praise your boss for her openness to a diversity of opinions. Now, your intention in this context may be to define diversity in light of team members from a variety of socioeconomic backgrounds, or a mix of women and men, or a mix of millennials and boomers. Yet some of your friends, being of a different racial background, might be thinking about diversity in light of racial characteristics. And they might take your comment as a positive, that people of different races at your office can openly express their opinions. Or they might be insulted by your comment, wondering, why wouldn't the opinion of someone of my race be valued? Thus, you may have unintentionally offended some of your friends because your filters are different from theirs. And considering that these are friends, you may care about resolving the misunderstanding. But what if you didn't? What if you were angry about all this talk of equity and were being passive aggressive by using such a loaded term as diversity? What if your intent was to agitate or target a certain group? A couple of years ago, when my country burst into protest over the death of a particular individual, I was puzzled by the stated intent for justice, since the impact felt by many, including myself, seemed more like an attack. One evening, as is my custom, I drove to the local university, which is located near the center of my hometown, for a leisurely stroll. It is June, about 9 p.m., and the air is warm, complemented by a slight breeze. I have been walking through the interior of the campus and am currently returning to my car. Let me take you to that moment. I step onto the edge of a large field, which is bordered by a dirt running track. It's the largest green spot in my city, and the grass is thick and spongy beneath my feet. And as I stroll towards the middle of it, the temperature drops slightly. At different places, not just around the perimeter, there are tall lights, which illuminate the field for those who play soccer, practice martial arts, or frisbee football in this wide open public area. Often the lights go off at 9 p.m., but tonight they are scheduled to shine brightly till 10. Yet, as I traverse the field, I notice it's unusually empty, and my steps pause for a moment. Intensely, my eyes scan the area for any others. No one. Where are the joggers, people strolling with their children, students resting languidly on the cool grass? Did I miss something? I don't watch the news, so perhaps the field is closed and I don't know it. Yet there are no posted signs, so I continue. It's a several-minute walk to my car. The parking lot borders Central Avenue, the old Route 66, a major thoroughfare. In the distance, when I'm about a third of the way across the field, I hear shouting, and a large group filling 2 lanes of Central Avenue comes into view. 2 police cars follow, or escort the mob? I don't know. I had heard about these protests in other cities and how they have, at times, fallen into violence. I stop. The group halts. Although still at a distance, above the heads of the crowd, disembodied arms jut into the air to the rhythm of chants. Angry chants. Images of the Rodney King riots flashed through my mind, followed by concern for my own safety. I veer my path away from illuminated spots, endeavoring to move quickly, to be unnoticed in the darkness. The chorus of shouts continue to pierce the quietness of the night, accompanied by arms thrusting upwards in unison to the words. I, on the other hand, glide stealthily, like a cat, slowly, silently, attempting to avoid exciting a predatorial instinct in the horde. My car is now about 400 feet away. Noticing this, my heart jumps with excitement, a flash of levity, which I quickly suppress. How sad would it be, so close to freedom, if an agitated throng sees me, loses control, and attacks? Suddenly, to my relief, the multitude lurches forward and crawls along slowly, still chanting, forward, forward and away. Hooray! I finally reach my car. The rabble turn into the campus a block away. I drive the other direction, safely on the path to my little apartment where, after entering, I sit with a shot of vodka, thinking about what I had just experienced, about intent versus impact. For at that moment, I could imagine the conversations that I would be having with my woke friends, how the intent of the protesters was to right wrongs, not target people, how it was good that I felt that momentary danger, which marginalized groups had felt for decades, how I was privileged and needed to be in a vulnerable position to truly understand. Was that really the intent, to make me and others like me feel vulnerable, to be concerned for our own safety? Then there's the impact on me, since I am of the group which is being denigrated, blamed, and shamed. I sip my drink and think about these protests. I suspect that you know the ones to which I refer. How supposedly progressive people, while saying that they want to make the world a better place, seem to think that will be accomplished through labeling and targeting certain groups. And what will be the impact on the general population of these protests? Well, I suspect there will be a backlash. And what will the intent of that be? And the impact? Who knows? Thank you for listening. Again, this is Dogma Discussions. I am Vincent. Please like and share the video. Leave me a comment. Until next time, goodbye.